Mindset matters. Train your brain for success and happiness. Written by Aaron Morris. Narrated by Rick Vaughn. Mindfulness and focus. Nothing exists apart from this very moment. It is the only time when we can truly live and experience our surroundings. The past is gone, and the future has yet to arrive. And so, what we are left with is the only reality we can truly know, the present moment. The present is all we have. The idea that the present moment is all we have has been recognized by many philosophers and spiritual traditions throughout history. The ancient philosopher Epictetus once said, "The past is gone, the future is not yet here, and if we do not go back to ourselves in the present moment, we cannot be in touch with life." Similarly, the Buddhist tradition teaches that the present moment is all that exists, and that our suffering only ever arises when we become attached to the past or fixated on what the future may hold. There are many practical benefits to living in the present moment. When we are present, we become more mindful and aware of our surroundings and our own thoughts and emotions. This can help us to make better informed decisions, as we are able to consider our options more carefully and avoid being swayed by distractions or past experiences. Being present also allows us to fully engage in and enjoy activities, whether they relate to work, play, or relationships. Don't become distracted by the past or future. Unfortunately, it can be quite difficult to remain present, as our minds are often pulled in different directions by the demands of the past and the future. We may be consumed with regret or worried about the future, and these distractions can prevent us from fully living in the present moment and experiencing life to the fullest. One effective way to cultivate a more present-oriented mindset is through mindfulness practices, such as meditation or yoga. These practices can help us to train our minds to focus on the present moment and let go of any distractions. We can also try to be more aware of our thoughts and emotions and make an effort to bring ourselves back to the present whenever we find ourselves getting lost in the past or wandering toward the future. Ultimately, the reality of life is always the present moment. By embracing the present and letting go of the past and future, we can live a more mindful, engaged, and fulfilling life. Feel liberated by living authentically. Realizing that the present moment is all we have can also be a liberating experience because it allows us to finally let go of the past and the future and focus on what is happening right now. When we are caught up in the past, we may be weighed down by regrets, remorse, or a sense of failure. Similarly, when we are fixated on the future, we may become anxious or fearful about what may or may not happen. And these thoughts can consume us if we let them, which is no way to lead your life. Living for now can also enrich our relationships and help us to enjoy activities thoroughly. When we are caught up in the past or future, we can often become distant from those around us, and this can damage our relationships. By bringing ourselves back to the present, we can become more attentive and engaged in the things that matter most. So rather than seem uninterested in conversations or activities, take the time to shift your focus on the present moment in order to show up for those you love and respect. Realizing that the present moment is all we have can also help us to appreciate the beauty and value of the present. When we are too focused on the past or future, we may start to overlook the simple pleasures and joys that are actually right in front of us. By bringing ourselves back to the present, we can be more attuned to the beauty and wonder of the world around us and find more joy and fulfillment in our lives. In addition, recognizing that the present moment is all we have can encourage us to live in a way that is more authentic too. When we get caught up in the past or future, we may be influenced by the expectations or opinions of others, or we may be trying to live up to an idealized version of ourselves. By letting go of these distractions and focusing on the present, we can be more true to ourselves and live in a way that is meaningful to us. Meditation for living in the present moment. Meditation is a practice that involves focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity in order to increase awareness, calm the mind, and reduce stress and anxiety. When we meditate, we bring our attention to the present moment and let go of distractions. This can help us to achieve a state of well-being that is imperturbable or easily regained. There are many different types of meditation, each with its own unique focus or approach. Some forms of meditation involve focusing on the breath or repeating a mantra, while others involve mindfulness or self-love practices. Whatever this specific focus, all forms of meditation can help to cultivate a sense of inner peace and well-being. Calming negative thoughts through meditation. One of the main benefits of meditation is that it can help to reduce stress and anxiety. When we are stressed or anxious, our minds tend to race and become flooded with negative thoughts. This can be detrimental to our mental and, in some cases, physical health. Meditation can help to calm the mind and bring a sense of clarity and perspective, which can make it far easier to manage stress and anxiety. Meditation can also help to improve focus and concentration, which can be beneficial in a variety of situations, including work, school, and relationships. When we are more focused and present, we are able to engage with the world around us and make better decisions, which in turn will generate better outcomes in life. Another benefit of meditation is that it can help to improve overall well-being. Regular meditation practice has been linked to a variety of physical and mental health benefits, including lower blood pressure, improved immune function, and better sleep. It can also help to increase feelings of happiness, contentment, and gratitude, which can contribute to a sense of overall well-being. One of the unique aspects of meditation is that it can help us to arrive at a state of well-being that is imperturbable or easily regained. When we practice meditation regularly, we can develop a sense of inner calm and equanimity that is not easily disturbed by external circumstances. Even when faced with challenges or stressors, we can return to this inner sense of well-being more easily and quickly. When this happens, you are reducing the impact that stress can have on the body too. By practicing meditation regularly, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and calm, reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus and concentration, and improve overall well-being, all important elements for living in the moment. What is time anyway? Are we living in an illusion? Well, our experience of life is often described as an illusion because it is subjective and relative rather than an objective reality. Time itself is not a tangible thing that we can touch or see. It is rather a concept that we use to measure and understand the world around us. Time is subjective. Time is subjective because it varies from person to person. Time can seem to pass more slowly or more quickly depending on the individual's perspective, state of mind, and their surroundings. For example, time may seem to pass more slowly when we are bored or anxious, or more quickly when we are engaged in an enjoyable activity. Time is relative. Time is also relative, meaning that it is not always the same for everyone. For instance, time can pass more slowly at higher altitudes due to the effects of gravity on the flow of time. Additionally, time appears to pass more quickly as we age due to the way our perception of time changes over the course of our lives. Time is man-made. Another way in which time can be considered an illusion is that it is man-made and created to help us make sense of the world around us. Time is a way of measuring change and continuity, and it allows us to understand and predict the patterns of the natural world. However, time is not an inherent part of the universe. Our concept of what time is and how it's calculated might be completely different for animals, for example. Stop watching time pass by. Relating this back to mindfulness, time is an important concept to consider, and while we can track time and watch it tick by, this doesn't mean we should be concerned about the time that has passed by or the time that will eventually arrive, only the time we are experiencing right now. 4 areas of focus for mindfulness practice. There are 4 main areas of focus for mindfulness practice: the body, emotions, objects of the mind, and world. These areas can be explored individually or in combination, depending on the specific mindfulness practice being undertaken. 1. The body. In mindfulness practice, the first area of focus is the body. This includes paying attention to the physical sensations in the present moment, such as breathing sensation, body sensation in space, or movement sensation. We can become more aware of our physical experience and develop a stronger sense of presence and awareness by directing our attention to the body. 2. Emotions. The second focus of mindfulness practice is on feelings. This includes paying attention to our current emotions and moods. We can gain a better understanding of our emotional experiences and learn to respond to them in a more healthy and balanced way by paying attention to our feelings. 3. The objects of mind. The objects of mind is the third focus of mindfulness practice. This includes paying attention to our thoughts and how they shape our perception of the world. We can become more aware of our thought patterns and learn to approach them in a more mindful and non-reactive manner by bringing our attention to mind. 4. The world. Objects of mind are the fourth area of focus in mindfulness practice. This includes paying attention to our surroundings, other people, and the objects we come into contact with. We can develop a stronger sense of connection and presence with the world around us by directing our attention to the objects of our minds. Overall, the four areas of focus for mindfulness practice are the body, feelings, mind, and objects of mind. By bringing our attention to each of these areas, we can start to develop a greater sense of presence, awareness, and connection with the present moment. Mindfulness techniques. The practice of living in the present or becoming mindful involves intentionally paying attention to one's thoughts, feelings, and sensations in the present moment, without getting caught up in them or reacting to them. Let's take a look at the many benefits of living in the moment. Benefits of being mindful and living for now. One way in which mindfulness can benefit well-being is by significantly reducing stress and anxiety. When we are stressed or anxious, our minds are often racing and filled with negative thoughts, which can make it difficult to relax or feel at ease. This also makes enjoying simple activities a challenge. Mindfulness can help to calm the mind and bring a sense of clarity and perspective to your life, which can make it easier to manage your stress and anxiety response. Mindfulness can also improve focus and concentration. By training the mind to be more present and aware, we are giving our mind permission to let go of distractions, which can help us to stay focused and engaged in our tasks and activities. Regular practice of mindfulness helps us cultivate the capacity for sustained attention and concentration, skills that are useful in many contexts. Mindfulness' positive effects on well-being also extends to areas of physical and mental health. Lower blood pressure, enhanced immune function, and better sleep is just some of the physical and mental health advantages associated with regular mindfulness practice. Feelings of joy, satisfaction, and appreciation can all improve as a result, which is good news for one's health and happiness. In conclusion, the practice of mindfulness can result in a wide range of positive benefits that include the mind, body, and soul. Achieving happiness. By freeing ourselves from self-defeating beliefs and attachments and adopting a more accepting and compassionate outlook on life, we can find greater well-being and pleasure via an awareness of the true nature of the self and the present moment. It is commonly held that one's essential self is transparent, cognizant, and bound to all things. Being able to let go of the ego and its demand to be separate and exceptional is a major step toward achieving this realization's potential for bringing about positive change. As we come to appreciate our oneness with everything, we naturally develop a kinder and gentler perspective of ourselves and the world around us. Having this knowledge can also aid us in letting go of self-defeating ideas, such as those of inadequacy or unworthiness. Knowing that we are interconnected with everything and everyone helps us develop a more positive and loving perspective on ourselves. Insight into one's inner essence also requires a focus on the here and now. When we are conscious of the here and now, we are free to ignore the past and plan for the future. This can help us to be more present in the experiences we are having, allowing us to derive more pleasure and satisfaction from such encounters. We may enrich our lives and become more in tune with the wonder and beauty of the world around us by practicing mindfulness and being in the here and now. Knowing one's actual nature and appreciating the present moment can improve one's sense of well-being and pleasure by freeing one from the constraints of rigid ideas about oneself and the world and replacing them with a more accepting and compassionate perspective. More specifically, we can learn to let go of the ideas and attachments that keep us from experiencing joy and fulfillment in the here and now, and instead focus on fostering the qualities of presence and awareness. The power of thoughts. It's impossible to deny the impact of one's mental and emotional processes. How we feel and think can profoundly affect our actions and outcomes. As a result, they have a major impact on how we view the world, how we feel about ourselves and others, and how we interact with the rest of society. We think when we give anything mental attention and try to figure it out, they can affect our actions and feelings in favorable, negative, or neutral ways. If we tell ourselves things like, "I am not good enough," we set ourselves up for a downward spiral of negative emotions and self-doubt, which in turn can affect our actions and how we relate to other people. Conversely, if we think positively, such as, "I am capable and deserving," we are more likely to feel positive, gain confidence in ourselves, and engage with people in a constructive manner. Feelings are the emotional and mental reactions to ideas, experiences, and circumstances. Emotions can be both positive and negative, spanning from happiness, love, and gratitude to terror, rage, and despair. Emotions can range from being intense and fleeting to being subtle and enduring. Furthermore, they have the potential to affect our mental state, actions, and well-being. Anger and worry, for instance, are negative emotions that can cause us to think and act in ways that are harmful to our health. However, the opposite is true. When we feel good emotions like love or gratitude, we are more likely to think and act in ways that are beneficial to our health. In conclusion, one must never discount the influence of one's own mind and heart. They can form our views of the world and our role in it, which in turn affects our behavior, decisions, and happiness to a great extent. Understanding the connection between our thoughts and feelings and developing the skills to constructively control them can improve our overall health and happiness. Visualization techniques. While being present is key to becoming more mindful and content, this doesn't mean you shouldn't think about the future at all. In fact, mindfulness combined with visualization techniques can help you to attract positive future experiences. Visualization involves creating mental images or scenarios in your mind in order to achieve a specific goal or outcome. By using the power of the imagination to create vivid and detailed images in the mind, you can start to manifest those images in the physical world. Visualization can be used for a variety of purposes, including personal growth, goal achievement, and stress management. Visualize for mental clarity. Visualization's ability to boost drive and concentration is arguably its most prominent advantage. Having a clear mental image of what we want to accomplish might help us focus our efforts and give us a sense of purpose. By imagining the actions we must take, we may make even the most daunting job seem less daunting and inspire us to get started. The power of positive thought and belief in one's own abilities can be boosted through visualizing success. Visualization exercises can help us believe in our own skills and take control of our lives by showing us how we can accomplish our goals and triumph over our obstacles. When confronted with our adversity or uncertainty, this might strengthen one's resolve and resolve to succeed. Relying on visualization is also an effective method for handling stress. Visualization exercises have been shown to be effective in helping people deal with stress and anxiety. Overall happiness and fortitude can be boosted by using visualization to train oneself to talk to oneself in a more encouraging way and to reframe negative ideas. In conclusion, visualization is an effective method for a number of situations, such as self-improvement, goal attainment, and stress management. Using mental imagery to strengthen willpower, concentration, self-assurance, and happiness, and bring aspirations closer to realization is a powerful tool. Remember, your response can impact your happiness. It is often said that our quality of life is determined by how we respond to what happens rather than what happens to us. This means that it is not the events or circumstances of our lives that determine our overall sense of happiness and well-being, but rather our attitudes and perspective towards those events and circumstances. How we choose to feel in response to events is a major contributor to our happiness and overall quality of life. An individual's emotional health and sense of fulfillment can benefit from an optimistic and proactive approach to life and its challenges. Conversely, when we react negatively to events or circumstances, it might cause us to feel bad and lower our happiness levels. One of the factors that determines how well we deal with difficulties is how we react to them. It is possible to quickly recover from setbacks and go forward in life by maintaining a positive, resilient attitude in the face of adversity. On the other side, if we react negatively to adversity, we may find it more challenging to cope and may even succumb to feelings of hopelessness and despair. And this means living in the past, full of regret, rather than dealing with the situation and moving forward. What's more, how we react to events has a bearing on how others perceive us and vice versa. Relationships can be strengthened and fulfilled when we respond to events and circumstances with positivity and compassion. In contrast, when we react negatively to events or circumstances, it can harm our relationships and lead to conflict and stress. In the end, it's not the bad things that happen to us, but how we deal with them that decides our happiness. One's mental and emotional health, resilience in the face of adversity, and the quality of one's relationships can all benefit from adopting a more optimistic and proactive outlook. So if something bad happens, try not to blame yourself or others, but instead resolve, respond, and move forward. How we perceive the world impacts our experiences. Part of gaining emotional intelligence and learning to let go of the past and stop living in the future is to gain control of our perception of the world around us. Each of us sees the world through our own special set of eyes. Our experiences, beliefs, and values then mold these interpretations and perceptions, which in turn profoundly affect our mental processes and our subsequent actions. Becoming more self-aware is a great first step toward managing your own thoughts and feelings. This necessitates analyzing how you interpret the happenings in your life and the world at large. Having a better understanding of how you form interpretations and perceptions will also allow you to start questioning and challenging them to see if they are grounded in fact or impacted by your biases and subjective past experiences. Keeping an open and inquisitive mind is another effective strategy for mastering your own interpretations and perceptions. Instead of presuming you know everything there is to know, you should try to approach the world with an eagerness to learn and an interest in expanding your horizons. Try to consider another point of view that is considerably different to your own. You can learn more about the world and form a more nuanced and well-rounded perspective by training your mind to be open and curious. And this will help to remove any preconditioning you've developed over the years. Making an active effort to confront negative or restrictive ideas is another way to take charge of your interpretations and perception. This may entail investigating competing theories or looking for evidence to disprove your cherished views. You can change your perspective on the world and your place in it by addressing your negative or restrictive beliefs. And for some, this is what they need to become present rather than getting wrapped up in the past or overly concerned about the future. Habits. What is thought anyway? It is often said that the mind is not a thing, but a process. This means that the mind is not an object or substance that exists independently from the body, but rather a series of mental activities or processes that involve the brain and nervous system. One of the most important things the mind does is think, and thoughts can be conscious or unconscious, and they can range from simple to quite complex. They can be also influenced by our emotions, beliefs, and values, as well as by external stimuli and experiences. Perception is another mental process that requires the brain to analyze and organize sensory data so that it may be used to build coherent concepts. Using our senses like sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, we are able to perceive the world around us. Making meaning of this data also requires drawing on one's own past experience and knowledge. An individual's capacity to feel and express a wide range of emotions, as well as their ability to control and manage their emotions, are all functions of the mind. Emotions are not simple mental and physical reactions. Rather, they have a profound impact on our decisions, actions, and well-being. And yet, the mind is not an entity, but rather a dynamic phenomenon. That is why it can often feel as though the mind is hard to control and can easily be distracted. Forming new habits to control thoughts. Developing new habits is an important part of personal growth and productivity. Habits are behaviors that we engage in automatically, without much conscious thought, and they can greatly influence our actions, thoughts, and overall well-being. To achieve mindfulness, you also need to form a new habit that naturally encourages the mind to be present rather than drifting to the past or heading to the future. A mindfulness habit could involve chanting a mantra to yourself in the morning to encourage positive thoughts, or practicing meditation before bedtime and focusing on your breathing and heartbeat. Habits can support personal growth. One of the main benefits of developing new habits is that they can help to improve productivity and efficiency. By establishing healthy routines and habits that support our goals and priorities, we can save time and energy and make better use of our own resources. For example, if we develop the habit of setting aside specific times for focused work, we can become more productive and achieve more in our day than ever before. Developing new habits can also support personal growth and development by helping us build new skills and capabilities. By forming a new habit that involves learning and growth, we can improve our knowledge and abilities and become more effective and successful in our endeavors. And habits can help the mind to be still, present, and engaged in the activity at hand. New habits can also support our overall sense of well-being by helping us to cultivate healthy behaviors and practices. For example, developing the habit of regular exercise or healthy diet can improve our physical and mental health and increase our energy and resilience. On the other hand, unhealthy habits can also be quite negative and bad for you. For example, if we make a habit of putting things off or avoiding them, it can make us less productive and less successful. In the same way, if we get into bad habits like overeating or smoking, it can hurt both our physical and mental health. Overall, habits have the power to influence our actions, thoughts, and well-being in significant ways. Cue, routine, and reward. To form new, healthy habits, you can use the cue, routine, and reward method. This system involves three key elements: a cue, or trigger, that initiates the behavior, a routine, or the behavior itself, and a reward, or the positive outcome, that reinforces the behavior. The cue, or trigger, can be anything that prompts us to engage in a particular behavior. It can be an external stimulus, such as a specific time of day or location, or an internal stimulus, such as a feeling or emotion. The cue serves as a reminder to engage in the behavior and can be an important factor in establishing a habit. The routine, or the behavior itself, is the action or series of actions that we engage in as a result of the cue. It can be a simple or complex behavior, and it can vary in duration and intensity. The routine is the main component of the habit, and it is the action that we repeat in response to the cue. The reward, or the positive outcome that reinforces the behavior, is the result of the routine that we find pleasurable or satisfying. It can be a tangible reward, such as food or drink, or an intangible reward, such as a sense of accomplishment or pleasure. The reward serves as positive reinforcement, which helps to establish the habit and make it more likely to continue. Suppose you apply this to achieving mindfulness. You might set yourself a certain time during the day to remind yourself to meditate or recite a mantra. Repeat this several times to reinforce the behavior, and each time you complete the action, reward yourself with something you enjoy, such as a snack, self-care, or a physical gift to yourself. Over time, you can remove the reward as the habit is successfully formed. The most effective way to shift an old habit is to diagnose and retain the old cue and reward and try to change only the routine. This approach recognizes that the cue and the reward are important factors in the habit formation process, and that changing them can be difficult or disruptive. Instead, by focusing on changing the routine, we can modify the behavior itself and create a new, healthier habit. Let's say you find that at night, your mind begins to drift to the past, and negative thoughts impact your mood and trigger anxiety. The cue is bedtime, and the habits is negative thoughts, right? Shake things up by redesigning your bedtime routine. At bedtime, recite a positive mantra, or practice yoga, and reward yourself with a warm drink to encourage a good night's sleep. It is also important to be patient and persistent when trying to shift a habit in this way, as it can take time and effort to establish a new, healthier behavior. It can also be helpful to enlist the support of others, such as a friend or coach, and to use techniques such as mindfulness and positive self-talk to help build motivation and resilience. Words are emotional triggers. Emotional states and behavior are strongly influenced by language and communication. Language is a system of symbols, sounds, or gestures that are used to communicate thoughts and feelings, and it plays a key role in shaping our emotions and behaviors. Suppose you keep revisiting the past when someone called you a terrible name. Well, in fact, they simply made a sound, and understanding that language, you experience an emotional response. By removing the meaning behind the words, you can eliminate the emotion and make them meaningless to you. You should also pay attention to the words we use to describe events and situations, as they can affect how we feel about them and how we respond to them. For example, if we use positive and hopeful language to describe a difficult situation, we may feel more optimistic and motivated to take action. On the other hand, if we use negative and pessimistic language, we may feel more discouraged and less motivated. Language and communication also play a role in shaping our relationships and social interactions. The words we use and the way we communicate with others can affect how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about others. For example, if we communicate in a respectful and compassionate way, we may feel more positive and connected to others. Whereas if we communicate in a disrespectful or dismissive way, we may feel more negative and disconnected. Talent. When there's a will, there's a way. Willpower is the mental or emotional strength that allows us to resist temptation or overcome challenges and obstacles. While it is an important aspect of self-control and self-regulation, it is also a limited resource that can be drained by trying to do too many things at once. Yet it is necessary to achieve mental strength, mental focus, and mindfulness. When we try to do too many things at once, or when we multitask, we can experience what is known as ego depletion, which is a phenomenon where our willpower is depleted and our ability to self-regulate is impaired. This can lead to a decrease in performance and an increase in stress as we struggle to manage our responsibilities and meet our goals. Trying to do too many things at once can also lead to a lack of focus and concentration, which can further impair our performance and well-being. By dividing our attention and energy among multiple tasks, we may struggle to fully engage in any one task and may produce mediocre work. By being mindful of our limits and focusing on one thing at a time, we can preserve our willpower and increase our chances of success and well-being. Jack of all trades, master of none. Successful people, such as Mozart and Kobe Bryant, often focus on one thing and become successful in that area by developing a deep level of expertise and mastery. This focus and dedication allowed them to excel in their chosen field and achieve a level of success that is not easily attained by those who are less committed or focused. Mozart is a classic example of a person who focused on one thing and became successful in that area. He was a renowned composer and musician who is widely considered one of the greatest composers in the history of Western classical music. From a young age, Mozart was deeply dedicated to music and spent countless hours practicing, composing, and performing. His focus and dedication allowed him to develop a level of expertise and mastery that is unparalleled in the world of classical music. Kobe Bryant is another example of a person who focused on one thing and became successful in that area. He was a professional basketball player who is widely regarded as one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. From a young age, Bryant was deeply committed to basketball and spent countless hours practicing, training, and competing. His focus and dedication allowed him to excel on the court and achieve a level of success that few others have attained. Successful people, such as Mozart and Kobe Bryant, tend to focus on one thing and become successful in that area by developing a deep level of expertise and mastery. Their focus and dedication allow them to excel in their chosen field and achieve a level of success that is not easily attained by anyone else. Although focusing on one thing does not mean neglecting other areas of life, but rather prioritizing and making time for them in a more intentional and focused way. While it is important to have a sense of balance and to take care of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being, it is also important to have goals and priorities that guide our actions and decisions. So when we focus on the present moment, this doesn't mean ignoring the future and don't put in place any goals. It means to have a balance. A vision for the future. Having a specific and compelling vision for the future is an important aspect of personal and professional growth and success. Having a specific and compelling vision for the future helps us to focus our attention and energy on what is most important to us and to prioritize our activities and pursuits. It gives us a sense of purpose and direction and helps us to stay motivated and on track. And this helps us to stay resilient and adaptable in the face of challenges and setbacks. Taking consistent, focused action toward your goals is an important aspect of personal and professional growth and success. It is not enough to simply have goals and aspirations for the future, but rather it is important to take consistent and focused action to bring them to fruition. Taking consistent, focused action helps to build momentum and progress toward your goals and helps you to stay motivated and on track. It also helps to develop discipline and focus, which are essential qualities for achieving success in any area of life. However, it is important to note that this may involve making sacrifices and overcoming challenges and setbacks in order to progress. It is also important to be mindful of your limitations and to pace yourself, as overdoing it or trying to do too much at once can lead to burnout and diminishing returns. Understanding success. A person's life is a reflection of their dominant thoughts, and their mind shapes the world around them. Our dominant thoughts and beliefs can also shape the way we perceive and interact with the world around us. If we have a negative, pessimistic outlook, we may be more likely to see the world as a difficult or hostile place and to respond to challenges or setbacks with negativity or despair. On the other hand, if we have a positive, optimistic outlook, we may be more likely to see the world as a place of opportunity and to respond to challenges or setbacks with resilience and determination. By being mindful of our thoughts and beliefs and cultivating a positive, empowering mindset, we can shape our own lives and the world around us in a positive and meaningful way. Success is shaped by our needs. Every person has 6 basic needs: certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. Understanding and fulfilling these needs is essential for personal and professional success. Certainty refers to the need for security and stability, and it is related to our basic needs for survival and safety. When our needs for certainty are met, we feel secure and confident in our surroundings and are able to pursue our goals and aspirations with greater focus and clarity. Variety refers to the need for novelty and change, and it is related to our need for stimulation and challenge. When our needs for variety are met, we feel engaged and energized by our surroundings and are able to stay motivated and interested in our pursuits. Significance refers to the need for meaning and purpose, and it is related to our need for self-esteem and self-worth. When our needs for significance are met, we feel fulfilled and valued by our contributions and are able to pursue our goals with greater purpose and meaning. Connection refers to the need for social and emotional connection, and it is related to our need for love and belonging. Growth refers to the need for personal and professional development. Contribution refers to the need to give back and make a positive impact in life. By being mindful of these needs and taking steps to fulfill them, we can increase our well-being and happiness and achieve a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment in our lives. Ignorance of our needs can hinder your success in the future. A strategy for success. There are many strategies for staying motivated and overcoming obstacles, and what works best will depend on your individual goals and circumstances. Here are a few strategies that may be helpful. Set clear and specific goals. Having clear and specific goals gives you a roadmap for what you want to achieve and helps to focus your efforts and attention. But being stuck in the past can make setting goals more challenging as your time and energy is being eaten up by regret and reliving past events. Break your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Breaking your goals into smaller, manageable steps can help to make them feel more achievable and can give you a sense of progress and accomplishment as you work towards your larger goals. When you experience progress, you'll start to feel accomplished and able to move forward. Keep a positive attitude. A positive attitude can help to keep you motivated and focused, even when you face challenges or setbacks. This is part of developing emotional intelligence and controlling your reactions and responses to the world around you. Surround yourself with supportive and positive people. Having a supportive network of friends and family can help to keep you motivated and can provide encouragement and guidance when you face obstacles. You'll naturally become the people you surround yourself with, so make a wise decision about who you spend time with. Take care of your physical and mental well-being. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is essential for staying motivated and focused. Make sure to get enough rest, eat well, and engage in activities that nourish your mind and body. Stay flexible and adaptable. Be open to adjusting your goals and strategies as needed, and be willing to adapt to new circumstances or challenges that may arise. Remember, you are only in control of your response and reaction to the world, not what happens in the world around you. Overall, staying motivated and overcoming obstacles requires a combination of clear and specific goals, a positive attitude, supportive relationships, self-care, and adaptability. By adopting these strategies along with mindfulness, you can stay motivated and focused on your goals and optimize your chances of success. Mindset matters. Train your brain for success and happiness. Written by Aaron Morris. Narrated by Rick Vaughn. Copyright by Aaron Morris.